All right, so this is my thoughts about a viral video I saw of a black guy being upset at a crying child on an airplane, and I think that it was a bad choice for him to respond the way that he did. And I totally can agree with somebody feeling annoyed when you're like on a long flights, a couple hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, and there's a baby that cries, and it seems like it's the whole flight. You wonder what the parents are doing, and so that forth. And so, of course, in my first mind, I'm thinking to myself, oh man, this is annoying. Why would you even bring a baby on a plane like this? You know, you think about these things. That's the first mind. But then I think about, well, what if I was a father and, you know, the air pressure inside of a plane can be very uncomfortable, and with a baby dealing with that air pressure, messing with his ears and stuff like that, that could probably be a very disturbing feeling for the child. So, yes, it is annoying to have a child that is crying on a plane, but that's why you um, have to be mentally tough with that. Um, Things don't go well for African American men who move on an emotional scale. We're clowned for when we're being too tough, and at the same time, we are not rewarded for uh, connecting with our emotional side. That's why it's important to have a safe space for your emotions, especially as a black man, because there's really no one that really, that's a sweeping statement, so I'll take that back. It's that there's not a lot of very safe spaces where adult African American men or even young men are rewarded for dealing with their emotions. And at the same time, we're mocked when we're angry, just like in this video, you know, because now it's about, well, hey, look at this guy, he's crazy, what's wrong with him? And I do believe he's exhibiting some narcissistic personality disorder traits. um you know and you got to play a cooler head. You could probably get more done with honey than you can with vinegar, even though that's contrary to popular thinking. It's like, okay, well, if I can yell at somebody or make somebody feel stupid or silly, I can get the results that I want, or talk to them like they're doing something wrong, you can get your results. I've noticed that when you're able to speak in a very smooth but firm and assertive way, you can get results. um but yeah, there's not really a safe space for black men to express their frustrations, um unless they have someone they have a safe space where they can be vulnerable with. um but it's even that is a finite place, because all a woman has to do is betray that vulnerability one time, and she will not get the same man ever again. Because there's a certain protection we have to have for ourselves mentally in this world. And because of that, um, we know, like, I dealt with an irate woman a couple years ago who was a sibling, and um, I wanted to really do something to her to put her in her place physically, especially when she advanced towards me physically. And even in that split second, I knew that if I had did what I really wanted to do, I would suffer the consequences most, because in the real world, I'm held accountable for my actions. So because I'm held more accountable for my actions, I can't move on emotions like a woman can. So I have to use strategies and be strong in a place. And sometimes it takes a lot of strength to withhold your power than to use it. And in that instance, I withheld my power because I knew that I wasn't going to let someone else's actions cause me to make an action that would hurt me most. So, when you're dealing with a plane, you just got to be mentally prepared for that. Have your earplugs ready to go. Somebody's going to be bringing a child on board. I'm sure the parents aren't trying to be annoying. They're just doing the best they can with what they have. And you have to be prepared for that. Get you some earplugs, get you stuff like that. But typically what a better situation would be was like, hey, could you check on that child, make sure that child's okay, and then let me know how they're doing. When they see, and then see, that's a way to get some results, because what's going to happen is the flight attendant is going to go back there and check on the child and make sure the child is okay. And although it may be very subtle, that should give the hint that, yeah, y'all need to figure out a better way to calm your child down. And to way it's not worked. I don't think an inside of an airplane cockpit is a comfortable place for a child. You got those loud engines, you got varying air pressure, everything's moving suddenly, and the child doesn't know how to comprehend all that. It's not a safe place or a safe space for a child. I do understand the convenience of bringing your child onto a plane, but at the same time, yes, it does annoy people. I wonder what is the solution to that. But I do know that the guy made a bad decision getting into his emotions. Yeah, he's right. It is annoying. Yeah, that is true. However, the accountability doesn't fall onto the child. The accountability falls onto him. And because the accountability falls onto him, you actually have to work harder than the next guy. You actually have to over-deliver in your stance, in your demeanor, because of this, the nature of the world. And if you're able to do that, you can get more done. I deal with a lot of adults in the workplace who get annoyed and things like that. But what I do is I remain a rock, and I remain steadfast in there, and I help guide them back down to the ground when they go off into their emotions. That's just the way it is. And, I think about, okay, what if I, when I have a child, I'm a father, and I want to transport that child. There may be a time, because I like to fly and travel, where I'll annoy some passengers. But in doing so, I know it's a temporary situation, but you got to keep a cool head, because now, when you get, that's what I'm saying, that it backfires on you. Now, there are other demographics that can express themselves emotionally, right? You got, this homosexual thing going on, women, transgenderism, they all can express themselves a certain type of way that man doesn't seem to get appreciated for. And that's hard, but there are other ways and options to get the results you're looking for from the people you're looking for. It's just, you have to work a little harder at it. It's easier to just go into your emotions and just kind of cry and get upset and flare up. That's the easy road. The harder road is maintaining your demeanor, focusing on the solution, understanding what your boundaries are, enforcing those boundaries, and staying with it, even while the world is ablaze around you. Well, those are my 2 cents on that situation. Let me know what y'all think. Daily Vlog.